I don't know if you need to hear this today, but you are not a fraud. Do you struggle with that little or loud voice in your head that tells you that it's only a matter of time before people find out that you don't actually deserve this job, this role, this praise? That, my friends, is something called the imposter syndrome. It's actually not a syndrome at all. In fact, researchers are moving away from such a clinical sounding diagnosis, which makes imposter syndrome seem like a pathological trait. But whatever we call it, research says that up to 70% of all knowledge workers will struggle with this at some point in their careers. Some of the most successful people in the world, men and women, struggle with these feelings. Anxiety, fear of failure, self-doubt, these are all hallmarks of the imposter syndrome. So how do we address it? First of all, trying to ignore or suppress the inner critic in our heads never works. In fact, ignoring the negative voice in your head typically only drives up the volume and the frequency. We have to get really aware of this voice, the situations when it likes to speak up, and the themes that it likes to bring up so that we can quickly be aware of when it's happening. One technique I've heard about and love is to give that inner critic a name to poke some fun at it. Oh, here comes Debbie Downer again. Hi, Debbie. Welcome back. Sorry, Debbies. Another tactic is to ask this voice, who are you? Is it the voice of a parent, a colleague, a teacher, a racial bias, social media FOMO? Identifying the source can be very useful in helping to understand if it's coming from a place of protection and kindness or whether or not it is just being ugly. Because the voice can be a helpful protector if we're taking big risks and some concerns can be justified. If there's some fact in that fiction, thank that voice for trying to protect you, but let it know, thanks, I've got it from here. But it's harmful when it looks like perfectionism or cruelty. When mine ramps up, and yes, I've got it too, I like to use a particular mantra that I've come up with, and it just is the same thing that I would say to a toddler if I was trying to soothe him or her. They're there. That's what I tell my inner critic. They're there. What mantra could you come up with to soothe your inner critic? And perhaps most importantly, give yourself a reality check. Remind yourself, yes, I really did work hard to earn this promotion. Or no one is talking about me behind my back after that meeting. I have no objective evidence to suggest otherwise. If you're struggling to pin down the facts, ask a trusted friend or colleague to help you with your reality check. Their objective viewpoint can be helpful, but you're going to have to make an agreement with yourself beforehand that their opinion is more believable than your inner critic. You're never going to get your inner critic to go away completely. The goal is to right-size it so that it doesn't ruin your sense of accomplishment or hold you back from achieving your full potential. Check out my video on the difference between mentorship and sponsorship. You can find it here.